Hi, YouTube. Wow. I've never thought through this, so it might take me a second. So this part might be cut. I'm just being blunt right now. Okay, who are you? I am who you believe who I am, so I can't really give myself one definition of who I am, and that's because I think every person's perspective is really independent. So however you see me is based on your individual experiences and what you think about people. Okay, overcomplicated it. I am N. I'm from the US. I am a student that's studying environmental engineering. Okay. What action in your life will have the longest consequences? Sometimes negativity can do that, even a moment of it, in the most positive, strong-minded people. Someone who you built up friends with suddenly ends just because you express some negativity. Next question. Your largest failure. I'm gonna answer another one. What should be the goal of humanity? Ultimately, just to help someone in life. If we live our life to change someone else's, whether we know it or not, and make it better just from something we say to them or a favor we do, then, and it makes someone else's day better and their direction better, then I think we accomplished our goal of existing in this world. If you could retire next week, what would you do? What I'm doing now, traveling, talking to people. Let's see. Share a travel story. I can't think of one good one off the top of my head. Okay. To make things easier. Can you swear in French? Zoot! This is the one swear word. What, do you want to teach me one right now? Putain. Sounds beautiful. Putain. Ugly and live forever, or very attractive and die in 4 or 5 years? Because I don't think I can live out my potential in 5 years. Sometimes your looks can determine how other people treat you, and I don't know if you can live with people being rude to you forever. What is your ideal home? Home for me is not really a place. It's being around many communities and good people that I consider good friends, and that's what makes me feel at home. They enjoy doing the same things I do. They're people I can talk to, and they're people that don't really have surface and superficial level attitudes towards me. Show an object from your luggage. So this is a hula hoop. It comes in 6 pieces. Well, this is a travel hula hoop, but what you do with it is you can dance with it. So you can do illusion-based tricks or dance with it. Where will you be in 10 years? I'm too spontaneous for this question. I'll do one more. Is suffering a necessary part of the human condition? That depends. So I think what I was told when asking this question before actually is suffering is caused by us and our own individual feeling, and it's almost inevitable because we're vulnerable as people, but we have to accept challenges that are more necessary to help us grow, but we don't necessarily have to suffer from those challenges. But in my mind, we almost should suffer just because most of the world does, essentially, in many dimensions of problems, including poverty or homelessness, or even simple ones like divorce. And I think if you end up feeling suffering in part of your life, then you're more likely to feel compassion towards other people who are also suffering. I'll just share the travel story because it actually kind of happened here. When people started going on the internet back in the day, there were many websites, including game sites, and it was almost taboo to try to talk to strangers on the internet. As a 12-year-old, I started going on this website called Neopets, and it's just a game site where you have a pet and you can feed it and raise it and even do battles with it. Anyways, I connected with a girl from France when as a 12-year-old, and essentially we started talking about life and started exchanging emails regularly for 3 years after that, and the emails started becoming very irregular until we essentially lost contact. 14 years later, I messaged her knowing I was going to Paris, and I said if she was interested in meeting, then we could, and we ended up meeting last night, and we were talking for a while. It felt very natural to talk to her, and it was really magical. I'll do one more. Do you have any travel tips? As I'm couch surfing right now, my first thing I would tell you is get out of your comfort zone, because for me, when I travel, I think a lot of the culture doesn't come in taking guided tours like most people would, and because by the time you leave, you continue to see people as exotic. I think that differentiates a tourist from a traveler. One thing, are you afraid of death? And right now that answer is yes, because I don't feel like, as I mentioned earlier, that I lived my life to its potential, and that I learned enough, but also influenced other people around me enough or contributed enough to this world to leave it. And I think maybe at the same time, it's also fear of the unknown. Would you rather travel the world or stay in place and fall in love? Let's travel the world. It's because I get to see a lot and I get to expose myself and opportunities I wouldn't otherwise, and I think I learn more that way when I'm exposed to things and people I can relate to. I want to see other people do this now.